This year's Boots on the Ground awardees are a bit different. The Foundation has previously identified a civilian or volunteer organization such as Mr. H. Ross Perot or the Gold Star Mothers to receive recognition for their support to soldiers and their families. However, this year, as we observe the 30th anniversary of Desert Shield and Desert Storm, we have chosen two soldiers, Captain Jose Delgado and Sergeant Jesus Gonzalez. We chose these soldiers for the confidence they displayed in their training and dedication to their duty. Their willingness to advise and cajole their battalion commander as their unit prepared for the ground war that began on February 24, 1991, helped the lead companies of the 101st Airborne Division avoid a tragedy as they air assaulted into Objective Cobra. Captain Jose Delgado and Sergeant Gonzalez served in the Intelligence, or S2 section of the 1st Battalion, 327th Infantry Regiment, 101st Airborne Division Air Assault. Their battalion commander was Lieutenant Colonel Frank Hancock. The 1st Battalion, 327th Infantry deployed in the summer of 1990 in response to the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait as part of a coalition to defend Saudi Arabia through Operation Desert Shield. Then, when Saddam Hussein refused to withdraw his forces from Kuwait, they began planning for Operation Desert Storm. As commanders and staffs refined their plans, Captain Delgado grew concerned with the brigade and division's intelligence assessment. Specifically, Captain Delgado was concerned about a kilometer-long trench line, reportedly unoccupied, in the middle of Alpha Company's sector, wondering why would someone expend that much engineering effort without covering it with troops or artillery fire. He and his intelligence analyst, Sergeant Gonzalez, gathered as much information about the trench line as they could. 3 days before the actual air assault, they discovered a satellite imagery report that indicated movement in the trench line that contradicted earlier intelligence assessment provided by their higher headquarters. Captain Delgado and Sergeant Gonzalez concluded that the trench line was occupied by Iraqi troops, and that the current plan of landing near the trench was too risky. On the evening of February 22nd, less than 36 hours before the air assault, Captain Delgado, Sergeant Gonzalez, and others on the staff briefed Lieutenant Colonel Hancock on their analysis. Based upon their assessment, Lieutenant Colonel Hancock advised his brigade commander of their findings and requested an adjustment to the plan. The request was denied. However, Delgado and Gonzalez continued to refine their assessment and discuss their findings with Lieutenant Colonel Hancock. Their persistence convinced him to return to the Brigade Headquarters, where after some heated discussion, he was given approval to adjust his landing zone. On the morning of February 24th, the 1st of the 327th air assaulted into Objective Cobra, where they were immediately engaged by over 300 Iraqi soldiers with heavy weapons. Delgado and Gonzalez's assessment was vindicated. The trench line was occupied and well defended. After the fight, Lieutenant Colonel Hancock told his S3, Major Dempsey, "Take pictures, because no one will believe what we found here. These images highlight what was found, an entrenched, well-armed Iraqi unit." We can only imagine what would have happened if Delgado and Gonzalez had simply accepted the assessment from higher headquarters. In all likelihood, the soldiers of the 1st of the 327th Infantry would have had suffered significant casualties upon landing so near a numerous and well-armed foe. Well-trained and confident in their skills and in their analysis, Captain Delgado and Sergeant Gonzalez stood by their intelligence assessment and never wavered. Through their attention to detail and willingness to challenge and advise their commander, they ensured the success of the battalion's mission while significantly reducing the risk to the survivor of their fellow soldiers. As we look back 30 years to Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm, Captain Delgado and Sergeant Gonzalez are truly deserving of the Army Heritage Center Foundation's Boots on the Ground Award.